Wednesday, the 10th of June, 2026. 3 Asia-Pacific AI stories before your first coffee. New Delhi is assembling a coordinated push to reposition India as an AI builder rather than the back office that staffs everyone else's models. A cloud compute deal with Abu Dhabi's G42 and chip designer Cerebras gives India access to large-scale training infrastructure outside the dominant US hyperscalers, while a visible wave of returning tech talent from Silicon Valley is feeding domestic AI startups and research labs. India's legacy IT services giants, long defined by labour arbitrage, are simultaneously retooling their offerings around AI capability delivery, marking the clearest structural shift the sector has attempted in 2 decades. Why it matters? If India can convert even a fraction of this ambition into working infrastructure and exportable models, it reshapes the competitive map for AI capacity across Asia. Builders in Southeast Asia and the Middle East gain an alternative compute and talent corridor that does not route through US or Chinese hyperscalers, which is exactly the diversification many governments are seeking. Capital allocators should watch 3 constraints closely: power availability for new data centers, the speed at which IT services firms can reskill millions of engineers from traditional outsourcing to AI product work, and whether Delhi can sustain policy coherence across states. The second order effect worth tracking is pricing pressure on US cloud providers in emerging markets as India-backed alternatives reach commercial scale. China's humanoid robotics push is hitting a bottleneck that has nothing to do with hardware, training data. Across facilities in Shenzhen, Shanghai and beyond, armies of human workers are folding shirts, stacking boxes and pouring water on camera so robots can learn everyday physical tasks through imitation. The country's manufacturing base, large low-cost workforce, and coordinated state backing are letting it stand up dedicated training data factories at a pace and price point no other market in Asia can currently match. Why it matters? The frontier of physical AI is shifting from building the robot to feeding it, and that reframes the competitive landscape for every robotics player in the region. Japan and South Korea have deep hardware expertise, but neither has moved to industrialized data collection for humanoid learning at comparable scale. Builders outside China now face a classic platform risk. Even if their actuators and sensors are world-class, the model layer could be won by whoever accumulates the richest library of human motion data first. Capital allocators should watch for a new category of data infrastructure startups across Asia-Pacific focused specifically on physical task capture, because the cost curve for generating this data at scale is the variable that will determine who leads humanoid deployment over the next 3 to 5 years. Meta has signed its first dedicated AI data center deal in India, partnering with Reliance to build compute capacity inside the country. The agreement extends an existing venture between Meta and Jio that pairs Meta's open models with Reliance's distribution network, land banks, and power access. India's push for data localization and sovereign AI compute has been accelerating, and this deal marks the clearest signal yet that a major Western platform is committing physical infrastructure to the market rather than serving it from offshore. Why it matters? This locks Reliance in as the default infrastructure partner for Meta's India AI stack, giving Mukesh Ambani's conglomerate leverage over compute supply for one of the world's largest user bases. Builders deploying Meta's Llama models inside India should expect tighter integration with Jio's telecom and cloud layer over time. For rival hyperscalers eyeing Indian capacity, The deal raises the bar on land and power procurement, both of which Reliance controls at scale. The second order effect to track is electricity. India's grid allocation for AI campuses is already constrained, and every megawatt committed to Reliance's AI build-out is a megawatt unavailable to competing data centre operators. Capital allocators should watch whether state governments begin auctioning dedicated power corridors for AI infrastructure, a policy shift that would reshape site selection across the subcontinent. That is your AIinAsia briefing for today. Stay sharp, build well, see you tomorrow.